players get set to match up between the Mexico City Diablos and our home team. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's go! 1, 9.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Here we go!
And a give this time to the tailback. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
Here we go.
And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they'll run it here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows the blitzers to get there.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the hometown guys with a football here to begin this second quarter of play as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now a handoff as they run left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll set up a throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
With that kind of loss of yards, that is usually an error by the guy carrying the ball. At the 1-yard line, you can't get too fancy there. You just got to try and plow forward and get what you can.
It's just a disaster. You go back to the 6 after you were at the 1. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Knocked down from the side. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave them with a long 4th and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through. And it's 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. He'll drop to throw. Going up top. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll set up to throw. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. They'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some.
Well, he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
They come out here in the eye. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's third and goal. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So the pigskin will move from the 2 down to the 1.
And I have not met an offensive line yet that doesn't think they can get it in from the 1-yard line on a running play.
And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and goal.
Let's go.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
On third down, it's Peters, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
And that is incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because they have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. And on now is the punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. Oh, it still won't go down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Oh, look at the juke. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd down following the run. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Back now here on EA Sports as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a miss on his first attempt, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
I know this will surprise you a little bit, Brandon, but you know kickers can be a fragile breed sometimes. You got to wonder what's going through his mind, but he didn't let that first miss impact him one bit.
Hey, I kicked back at Harrison High School. Are you calling my ilk soft? And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to him.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And now back out comes the offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. So they bring out their punter as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 23. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a handoff looking right. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
Here we go now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. 2nd down, just 1 yard to go. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number 1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. And leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The offense on 3rd down, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door.
Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.